Hi, Todd. Thanks so much for coming in to meet with us today.
Absolutely.
I heard about your foundation briefly through the chamber, and I wanted to invite you in so that we could explore, why you started it, what it does, how you get people involved, and what the outcomes are. So those are the things that intrigue me about your foundation. So let's start with, I'd like to know what inspired you to create this foundation, and then of course, how you named it.
Sure. I can't remember how many years ago, probably 5. The original name of the foundation was called Lake Orion Youth Football and Cheer. And it was a very established 501c3 since 2002. And when I took it over as a president, I said, we have this captive audience. What are we doing with our youth? How are we developing them and teaching them other skills outside sports? So I've always loved arts and music, and I'm a big proponent of our skilled trades today. I think that obviously, it's catching on hard today, and we're seeing it. And that demographic of age for me was, we weren't hitting the 5 to 15-year-olds, like eating cognitively. And so the 4th pillar of the foundation is called mindfulness. So when I took over as the president, and at that time I had 2 of my boys that came through the youth football program. And so I just had a lot of experience with collaboration in nonprofit organizations, or in our construction industry, throughout the country, we would have to team up with minority entities in order to meet certain statistics or what have you. And so I just began to think, okay, what more can we do in a 501c3? And really what drives a 501c3 is your mission statement. And so I just began exploring more about opening up, causes and ways to actually intrigue people that would want to be a part and either invest in it financially or mentally. And I went to the 4 pillars that I loved, which was, I love the arts and music with the sports. I love the mindfulness piece, very broad, but I have a very, very focused, notion of what I feel like that pillar plays out to be. And then the skill trades. I named it the Dragon Foundation because we founded it out of the Lake Orion Dragon community. But my passion and my audience is youth.
Okay.
Like for instance, in our football program, we have, I think, 28 Clarkston families. We have Oxford families. What will happen in these sports programs, they'll fill up and the kids won't have anywhere to go and play. So my philosophy was really simple. I said, then start a new team and find more coaches. Because if we continue to turn children away from the ability to play a sport and develop, then we failed. It was really that easy for me. And so one of the things that I'm going to back up a tiny bit of what drove me to take control of the foundation was that a lot of times what's happening is our adults were allowing politics into youth sports. And I had a problem with it because I came out of Lake Orion. We won a state championship in wrestling at the captain of that team in 1990. Gwen wrestled at Michigan State on a scholarship, and politics didn't exist. And I didn't understand it. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to free our children and protect their innocence as long as humanly possible from all of that. I want them to just fall in love with genuinely an art, the music, the sports, just elevating themselves without any of the minutia. So when we started that, it's pretty crazy what happens when you really start developing with that vision. We had the NFL reach out to us. They had a program called PTFL, it stands for Progressive Tackle. And it kind of in light of the concussion world years ago, what they did is they dumbed down the game to a 40-yard football field between the numbers, still tackle, 7-on-7, and no special teams. And they're like, this is a pilot program to develop the children the right way, teach them the right skills, and have them fall in love with the sport.
How do you determine what children get in the foundation and which children don't? And already I want to offer a scholarship because I'm so excited about it for some kid who is
Scholarships.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can do scholarships.
Yeah.
For membership, you can be a corporate sponsor. But, I'm sure there are other ways that people can get involved. But how do you vet your coaches? Because we're so concerned today, quite frankly, with any adult interacting with children. So let's just talk about the thing no one wants to talk about. And it is a very big deal. And I got, I'm a mom and I've got two grands who are 13 and 14. And how do you vet your coaches and, speak to that a little bit for the aspects of the coaches are the ones who are influencing the kids. So who's influencing the coaches and how does that happen?
Yeah. So as anyone will tell you, when you start building out programs, it's the hardest people to put in place is your coaches, right? And so what's amazing about this community and even Northern Oakland County is how connected, like the NY, I'll just use football, for example, we all are. So one of the things that we implemented throughout is it's called the safety program, where all coaches have to fill out, there's background searches on any criminal background. None of our coaches are allowed to have anything to do with any type of criminal activity.
So you do extensive background checks.
Yeah, and we're very connected to local law. And by the way, we have probably, it's ironic, but probably about a half a dozen Oakland County sheriffs, detectives have been in and out of our program. Our president of football is a lieutenant for Auburn Hills Police Department. I mean, we just have amazing women and men in our organization that we built the vetting process, and we start with the criminal. And then the other thing in the mindfulness piece is we do programs. We grab all of our coaches, Chris Bell and Johnny Blackstock, everybody at Lake Orion High School has just been phenomenal, bringing all in our cheer program, in our lacrosse program, basketball. All of those head coaches, I call them CEO of the sports, have brought our coaches in and they do countless programs of teaching them the game and really just the X's and O's of the sport, but dumbing it down to the youth level so that we can begin to just talk the same language as we send them up, right? But the background search starts there. And we have a membership with the program where I think that the technical name is SAFE, S-A-F-E, and there's an acronym to it. But on top of that, all of our coaches take concussion protocols in all sports. They have to pass an online program. So it's not an easy just come in, volunteer, I want to be a part. And we put out a handbook that our coaches signed, all of our athletes signed about behavior, about, on and off the court or the field and how they behave. There's accountability matrices that we put in place.
If you had to sum up, like, what are your needs right now? What are your most prevalent needs right now as a foundation?
That's a great question. I mean, it's funny. A lot of people always ask me if it's about the dollar. I mean, if you handed me $10 million right now, it would be great. But what's more important is like the mindfulness piece and the experts and really finding great minds that understand this mission of the foundation and what we're trying to accomplish, and really getting involved and bringing ideas, because we're a small group. We have great boards, but experts in the 501c3 about grants and experts in the psychology world or the sports world and the arts and music. Arts and music right now, Gwen, is probably, we haven't even developed that pillar yet. We were collaborating a tiny bit with the Lake Orion Arts Center. Just a different demographic, right? It's a little bit of a more mature as opposed to our youth. So, the collaboration was light, but we're all still present together.
It's developing.
Yeah.
It's developing.
So it's really a combination of leadership, ideas, and dollars.
And how does one get involved. Like if you're just a lay person and you're watching this video between us 9 months from now or something, and they're touched by this mission and want to become involved, what steps would you suggest they take?
So we have an amazing digital director. Her name is Nicole Walsh. She built our website. It's called thedragonfoundation.com.
Okay.
And on the Dragon Fund, I'll say it a couple times, thedragonfoundation.com. Everything that you could do from being involved from a coaching standpoint, getting your children involved, donating to certain scholarships that we have out there, developing, any ideas that you have, all the inquiries come right into our secretary. She disperses those inquiries to the expert. So I would start with the dragonfoundation.com. I don't know if it's, appropriate where I get my contact information, but, I'm an open book, and, anything to do with the development of the foundation within the pillars, within ideas, I want to hear it.
That's awesome. So if somebody goes to the dragonfoundation.com, which I did, and there's a form there, and it has a lot of different menus. Like it says scholarships, things that we're interested in. You can fill it out and you can say, I'm interested in volunteering, I'm interested in donating, I'm interested in those kinds of things. So we would just fill out that form, and then somebody will contact them, talk to them about areas that they're interested in. And then of course, nothing goes through your foundation without people being vetted and put in the proper place, because you want it to be beneficial to both the volunteer and the students that are in there, right? So it's a very thoughtful process.
And most of those inquiries land on myself, on my desk, in that I just feel very compelled to talk to everyone that wants to be involved. I just think it's important that they see the visionary and they have an idea that, I just like to set that precedence up front about what we stand for and why we developed it and what we wanted left out of it, so that these children have that raw opportunity. And you'll laugh. I always use this term. We had to fight to protect their innocence for as humanly long as possible, as long as humanly possible, right? So in the everyday scheme of life, the more of these children can be children, that needs to be our mission. Because we all know what getting older and responsibilities are like. And
100%.
it just robs them of that, experience and innocence, I guess, for lack of a better word.
So, and in other news, like when I invited you in here for this interview, it was because I was run by the foundation. But then when you introduced yourself, I did not realize that you own Motor City Granite.
Yeah.
I'm a shop local kind of girl. You did all the countertops in here, and you had met during that process. So if you are in the market for any kind of stone countertops, kitchen, cabinets, all that kind of stuff, Motor City Granite, downtown Lake Orion, if you're tourist town, is where you want to go. And I can vouch for that. And you can stop in my store and see their work. So feel free to do that. Todd, it has been a pleasure learning about this foundation. I'm super interested and intrigued and just very impressed by the direction. Like it's a solid direction and a plan. And I think that's amazing.
Well, then I can't thank you enough for profiling us and your interests. And look forward to being involved with us.
Oh yeah, we're headed for it. So you're going to find an interview with Todd on YouTube. You're going to find it in print on our Applause with a Cause in a newsletter. And we're going to be writing a check and see what else we can do for this foundation. So we hope you'll join us in supporting thedragonfoundation.com. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. It's been a pleasure. Appreciate it.